Hello, this is Mr. Lowry. Today's assignment or objective is 3.10c. We will analyze a nonfiction text by explaining how the author's use of text and graphic features achieves specific purposes. We've been reading fiction stories up to this point, stories that were made up, that have characters and have a theme and have a problem and a solution. This week we'll be talking about nonfiction. It's the same story that you did your vocabulary over. So we have real pictures, real information. Just remember, when you're reading nonfiction, the author's purpose, the reason for giving you this text is to give you information about a particular subject. As before, when we were doing fiction, the author's purpose usually just to entertain you with a story that has some kind of moral or lesson to be learned at the end. So we're going to be learning, obviously, since the title is Living in the Desert, we're going to be learning facts and information about living in deserts. Text and graphic features are used in nonfiction or informational text. That's just all we're talking about is the pictures and the captions, headings. Sometimes you'll see diagrams, and the page previously you saw a map. All these things are included. Of course, glossary you know about because of the vocabulary assignment we had last week. Sometimes you'll see illustrations and graphs, table of contents. The kids really need to understand what the caption is. The caption a lot of times explains what's being shown in the picture or why the author is including this picture. When I read the caption here, I understand that they're talking about flash floods. So therefore, I understand that the picture's being included so you understand that there is water in the desert. Sometimes there's rainfall in the desert. And a lot of times when there is rainfall in the desert, it causes a flash flood. You just need to understand that the pictures are there to help you to understand the text. Therefore, the pictures always help you understand it by showing you a picture of something that was mentioned in the text. Same thing here. They're talking about the way people dress in particular areas in the desert in northern Africa here. And then the picture is included to show you what that dress looks like. The reason why their faces are covered, their entire bodies are covered to protect them from wind, sand, and the sun. Just always remember, connect that picture to the text, because you will see questions that ask you why the picture was included. Maps. Maps have a key. This key helps you understand what's being shown in the map. Sorry, I should have taken that away. Also this map has a caption, and the caption explains further what's being shown in the key by saying the yellow areas on this map show the current desert areas in Africa. The red shows areas that are at risk for desertification, or they're at risk of being turned into deserts, probably due to deforestation, or just dry weather patterns. The glossary nonfiction texts also have a glossary since they are informational and often contain a lot of unknown words and new vocabulary. Nonfiction texts also have titles to help you find information easier, and bold print in order to emphasize information or make it stand out more to the reader. You must understand that the titles help you find information easier. When I look at chapter 3, I see the title is Living in the Desert, so that's going to help me remember if I've read this and I'm reading it for the second time or going back in the text to look for answers, that I know this part of the text is about the people or types of people that live in the deserts. Also, I have the bold print is there for your vocabulary words. The reason why they use bold print is so it stands out more, or pops, if you will. The students need to understand that. They'll see that question occasionally on tests. What is the reason for bold print? The reason is so the information sticks out more, or to emphasize the information. This word will be used a lot, emphasize. This is an article. I tried to take a picture of it, but I ended up typing it myself. Just to point out how the picture connects to the text, and this is the type of question you might see on a test. The title is Communication, Feelings, and Emotions. It was from a magazine titled Furry Pals or something like that. Animal tales help people understand how animals are feeling. For example, a dog might tuck its tail between its legs when it is scolded. This shows that it feels afraid or embarrassed. People often think that if a dog wags its tail, it means he or she is happy. But if the tail is horizontal, it probably means the dog is looking for information. If the tail is wagging low, it means the dog is worried. Dogs also use their tails to communicate with other dogs. They observe each other's tails positions when they meet and play. So it says here in the picture, what might this dog be saying with its tail? The tail is in an upright position. It's not low, like it says here, where it's being embarrassed or afraid because it got in trouble or is being scolded. The tail is not horizontal, which means it's preoccupied or it's looking for information. And it's not wagging low, which means the dog is worried. But the tail is high. So therefore, using this text and this picture, I can answer this question, which is, according to the information in the article, the dog is most likely feeling, the answer would be happy. Again, where does it say that? Yeah, if the dog wags its tail, I'm sorry, it's happy. Chapter 1, the first question here is, and I'm just showing this is my guided practice, this to show how I'm getting answers, what the type, I'm also exposing the students to what type of questions you see on these tests regarding nonfiction text. First one, what is the title of chapter 1? Just to help you remember that there's titles here and what those titles are to tell you the titles of the chapters, and it also helps you to find information. Number 2 is, how much rainfall do deserts receive each year? That information is going to be here in paragraph 2. You can pause this at this time to read it if you don't have the book. Again, these are not questions that the students need to answer. These are just questions that I'm demonstrating how to find the answers. But once again, if you look in chapter 2, it says, a desert is an extreme place to live. No other place on earth is as dry as a desert. Fewer than 10 inches of rainfall in the desert, rainfall in deserts each year. So the answer there, it has to have, and that's one of the classifications of a desert. An area is considered a desert when it has fewer than 10 inches of rain per year. Number 3, what information about deserts does the map provide? It says deserts are almost everywhere in the world. You can find deserts in South America, North America, Asia, Australia, Africa, and Antarctica. So therefore, the map shows you all those areas. The map is showing you where to find deserts in the world. And then it says down here in the caption, deserts cover about 1/4 of all land on Earth. That would be a good question you would see. How much of the Earth is covered with deserts? It would be 1/4. Instead, I included the question, where is the world's largest desert located? If you're looking at the map, where is the largest desert? This desert's pretty large. It's larger than this desert. Definitely larger than this desert. It doesn't show the desert here in Texas. I guess it's too small. But if you look down at the bottom, Antarctica is considered a desert. And if you go back to our facts, where it said how much rainfall a desert gets each year, it's probably the reason why it's considered a desert. It does not receive rain, although it's a big block of ice. Many deserts are hot. There are not enough clouds to shield the ground from the sun's heat. One of the hottest temperatures ever recorded was in Death Valley, California. The temperature reached 132 degrees Fahrenheit, or 56 degrees Celsius. Not all deserts are hot, however. Most of Antarctica is a cold desert. Temperatures there can be as low as negative 128 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 89 degrees Celsius. As students just need to know, we use Fahrenheit more than Celsius. That is way below freezing. So, explain why Antarctica is considered a desert, but that really comes here in this other question, this other page. It must not receive rainfall. Although it seems strange because it's a big block of ice, we are looking at water. It's just frozen water. There's no new rain or snowfall there. And then 6, according to the text, how hot can it get in Death Valley, California? And there it says there. It's once recorded at this temperature, so therefore we know it can get that hot. And I would just say the text says that. That's another thing when the students are answering these questions, and I will emphasize that at the end, when they're answering these questions on the Google Forms, you really need to do so in complete sentences. 1, we need to practice writing more. 2, you need to practice writing in complete sentences and understand what that means and how to do it. So these are the questions that I'm allowed the students to actually answer on the Google form. I include the pages just so they know, so they can look at the information more easily in their books. Number 1, explain what is being shown in the picture on this page. Remember, it has to do with the text. So the answer just isn't in the caption, although this time it's but just remember that what they're looking at is what these people are living in. And number 2, according to the text, why do the nomadic people of Asia's Gobi Desert move from place to place? Remember, answer it please in a complete sentence. That sentence right there in the text can be used. It's a complete sentence, and that is what they can use for their answer. Again, not here, but in the Google form, and I'll show you that in a second. This one talks about people living underground in Australia. It gives a reason why. Just explain why the people of Goober Petty built underground homes. Don't forget to look at the caption. The answer may be in the text, it may be in the caption. According to the text, what does Goober Petty mean? Again, it says it either in the text or the caption. Look at both, please. This time it says, what does the photograph on page 143 show? I believe it's mentioned in both the text and the caption this time. And number 6, explain why the author includes the photograph on this page. How does it connect to the text? Again, read the text. They give it a reason why they're showing this picture in particular. It has something to do with what is mentioned here. This is the Google form in my Google Classroom, and I put here in the directions, you must answer questions with complete sentences. If you do not answer with complete sentences, you will not get credit. I understand if they miss a period or something, I'm not going to count off, but what I'm getting here is one answer. One-word answers, and that is not going to work. You cannot answer it with just a one-word answer. If that's the case, then I'll call you to my small group. I will message your parents, and we will have to do it again. Again, I have it in the instructions. Please try. I understand that some kids are waiting till their parents get home to help them with these assignments, but I'd really like it I don't want you to turn it at the end of the week. It needs to be done soon. If not by the end, by 5 o'clock today, maybe at least by day's end, please. That way it just helps me keep up with it. That's it. If they would like to answer this question, the kids in class, they'll answer this question. If you would like to have your students answer this for extra credit or something, they can do that. Just write about a 4 or 5 sentence explanation of how they would feel about living in a cave. Because it doesn't look so bad here. Remember why the people are living in a cave, and then think about it. Would you like to live in a cave? I can think of some reasons why I would like to live in a cave. It doesn't look so bad here. Looks like they have nice accommodations. Here's a little TV over here. Again, here's the Google Classroom. This video will be right here. Thank you for listening. See you next time. Goodbye.